change, and this is the thing with 3D as well right now. Is everybody's like, 3D, it's it's no good, it sucks, and the only reason you're saying that, in my opinion, is because they're lazy. Because DPs and filmmakers don't want to learn new tech.
You got me. I'm lazy.
No, you're not lazy.
No, that's why I don't like it, because I'm lazy. You're absolutely right, actually.
No. Oh, you don't like it?
Blew my mind.
Oh.
The reason I don't like it is because I don't want to have to do it. You're totally right.
Oh, you're against stereoscopic 3D?
But just now I just realized because it's hard to do.
Yeah.
If it was easy to do, I would be so for it.
Well, I mean, that's I think that's what happened with digital. I mean, when you went from film to digital,
Yeah.
nobody wanted it. Oh no, it's no good. Now everything's digital.
Right.
Why? Because it's easy. It's easier now, but at the time when you made the change, it's something different, it's something new, and I love just when it when this kind of tech is open to the masses, is because everybody gets to play around with it, and you have teenage kids making brilliant films in their houses with a $2 budget that are blowing Hollywood films away, and that's what the industry needs. That's the Hollywood industry needs a kick in the pants from you guys, from the world.
All of that nerdy talk is actually for this question. I'm just now realizing, oh man, we're so close to doing this. When I see you and I see I see Dan, I'm seeing the actual, you are the video that killed the radio star. You're gonna be it. And what I'm talking about is the motion cap guy that goes in and does it is going to be the big actor, the big name, because CG's catching up. So I'm wondering, like, how far in advance did you see it? Because you're like right on it. I mean, were you looking and saying that's what I'm going to be 10 years ago, or were you like, oh, everybody's catching up to what I was thinking?
Well, to be honest, I didn't think until Avatar. I didn't really think. I thought motion capture was always going to be limited to video games.
Yeah, me too.
And when Cameron took the video game tech and was integrated into this big Hollywood blockbuster movie, that's when I thought, okay, I'm glad I'm doing motion capture. I'm gonna have a career here. And that's one of the reasons, I got on when I got on Avatar. I guess one of the reasons why I stayed on immediately. When I first went, my friend, actually a good friend of mine, Rueben Langdon, who was actually doing stunts on Spider-Man, or just finished. But he was working close with the stunt coordinator and Cameron loved him. And he kept saying, "Ruben, you gotta get in, you gotta get in." I'm like, well, get me in. Because he was telling me every day there were performers coming in, and because they didn't understand the tech, they had never been in a mocap suit, they'd never done like green screen work, and hadn't really done a lot of acting as well. There's a lot of stunt performers that just do stunts. They didn't understand, I guess, what to do. And Cameron was losing on set. He was like, what kind of talent are you? You're this and that. I mean, and, they'd be gone the next day. Don't ever bring that guy back. So the pressure was on. Finally, when he kept pushing me to the stunt coordinator. He's like, you gotta get Ruben in. He does all these video games. This is his world. This is, where he lives. And I just come off Devil May Cry 4, and yeah, I got on set and it was like, oh yeah, it's just like a video game. Yeah, okay, this is all very familiar stuff. And I did a day, because I was actually filling in for Ilro for the day. And then I got called back the next day. I was like, oh, that's a good thing. And then I did it, and I got called back again the next day. And then finally, some of the other guys we were working with ended up not coming back either. And I'm like, oh no, I'm ready to take this job. But it ended up just being myself, Ilroman, and another girl, Alicia Bella. She was the 2 weeks double. And that was the stunt team, the three of us. We did 90% of the stunts.
I honestly didn't know that. I knew you were there, but I thought it was kind of like an end thing. So
Yeah.
you did a lot of that stuff, the whole jumping on the flying planes. And
Almost all of the Navi flying, getting killed, blowing up. It's pretty much, I'd say 90% is between me, Alicia, and the Rock.
I'm going to change gears real quick. There's another question. Angie's got some questions too, so I'm blocking it out. Okay, I want to switch to Scott Pilgrim real quick because I knew you had worked on it, but until I saw, I think but for some reason I didn't think you were Scott. And I'm watching that. It might have been your demo reel. There you are, dressed as Scott, kicking somebody in the face. How much of Scott did you do? Were you him most of the time?
Yeah. So no. I actually for the movie I didn't double him at all.
Oh, okay.
Can show. We don't have the big screen here, but
honestly, I thought you were like a little tall. Like when I saw this footage, I'm not making that up, right? You were dressed as Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah. So what had happened when Scott Pilgrim first, the idea of it first came out? I was called Brad Allen, who is on Jackie Chan's stunt team. I know, a really good friend of mine. We worked together with Jackie on the Medallion, and we did this. I don't have the big screen, but.
Present it here the best I can. You have to pull in that.
Well, I can give you some
audio.
You know what? I'll John Cusack. That'll work anyway.
Did you say you're gonna John Cusack?
Yeah, let's John Cusack. I'm gonna hold it up. I'm gonna hold it up and pick
I'm sorry, just got that.
Yeah.
Here it's on.
So this was a proof of concept test that it's $2 million investing in this. I flew up to Toronto, and that's me and Scott, and we did. It was the very first fight with the first Eagle X, and Michael Cera wasn't available, so. You've seen pictures on Facebook with me in the Scott Pilgrim crossway. Well, it's because I was Scott for this test. And I started reading the comics and I was a big fan. So, worked with Edgar Wright, the director. And it was really cool. Bill Poe, the director or the DP from Matrix. He was our DP. And then we go into this whole kind of little fight scene, which a lot of the fight ended up, as it's choreographed, ended up in the final scene. Yeah, so. Well, the guy I'm fighting, his name is Chris Mark, an amazing martial artist. He actually doubled Michael Cera. He's an Asian guy, but they put a mask, a prosthetic mask over his face, so he looked just like Michael Cera. Michael did a lot of his own stuff too.
You know that set ended up being the rocket set that they used?
Yeah, that was the same set.
Nice.
Yeah, that was the same set that they used too. So that's pretty much it.
Music is the same music too.
Take me back. Your work on it.
So basically, I did the test with Brad. He called me up to do the test. Went up to Toronto and did it, and then it took a while for the project to actually get greenlit. That was kind of a proof of concept. Universal was going to spend all this money, and Edgar Wright, the director, and his brother had all these kind of cool ideas for how to do the action, very comic book style and mixing visual effects and the whole deal. So Universal, before greenlighting it, they were like, well, we gotta make sure it works. So they spent a couple $1 million on the whole production. It was a pretty big, it was two-day shoot, but we had all this gear and screen. They built the rocket set and the whole thing. Flew everybody out to Toronto, which is not, it's kind of difficult unless you're a big star to work in Canada. It's hard to get the working visas and things. And they managed to get me on board, which was tough. Then finally the movie got greenlit, and they were trying to get me back on, and the producers were like, "No, we don't need a stunt guy, from LA. We've got plenty of stunt guys here in Toronto." And Chris Mark was from Toronto, so instead of just having to come out and do the stunts, Edgar was like, look, I have to figure out something. And then finally I got a call and Edgar was like, look, we'll put you in, I found something for you. And he gave me the role as Lucas Lee's stunt double. So, oh, yeah, Lucas Lee, look at that. And because I had no idea what I was doing. They were like, just come on up, we're gonna do this thing. And then they started fitting me, cut my hair, and giving me side, because I can't grow sideburns. Pasty sideburns, contacts, which is the worst thing. All the stunts, I can crash through tables and fly through the air and do, but please don't make me wear contacts. Trying to put those things, it's like, I've got this phobia of things going into your eyes. It's, I know guys who do this every day. It's the biggest stuntman in the world. So that was Scott Pilgrim. It was an awesome experience, and kind of going back to the whole Just Cause, working with a great team. There's been a few projects outside of the Just Cause projects that I'm really proud to have been working with the team, and that is Scott Pilgrim and Avatar. These two, the team, the directors, at any time that those guys would call me, I will throw everything away and go work with these people, because it's really, for me, when working on a project, it's not necessarily about the money, and I've turned a lot of stuff down just because I'll know certain people are involved, and it's just like, or not certain people are not involved, and it's just not, it's just not, it's about the project, and it's about having a good time and having, I wish Scott had done better than it did financially, because, I think it's an awesome movie. I don't know what you guys think.
When I say it sounds kind of weird. That's just a movie that's going to build and build and build.
Absolutely.
It's never going away. It's kind of like The Wizard of Oz didn't do well, actually. Who won the Oscar for The Wizard of Oz that year? Who cares? People are still watching that movie 100 years later. You'll watch. That movie will be around forever because of that.
That's true. Good point.
But what did I want to ask you next? I'm blanking now. So we were talking about Scott. So you were in that. You were the stunt. You just played the stunt coordinator, Scott.
I was working. Brad Allen, he was the stunt coordinator / second unit director, and he called me in for that. Oh, I'm number 4. That's another. He also did I Am Number 4. Brad, I kind of work with it, like, in the Hollywood stunt industry, there's a ton of stunt coordinators and stunt people, and I don't really sell myself as a stunt person, more of kind of a stunt actor. And I work with 2 coordinators who kind of know me as kind of a jack of all trades. I can stunt coordinate, I can second unit direct, I can wear many hats. So these 2 guys kind of call me a lot, and I love working for them. One is Garrett Warren, who's the stunt coordinator for Avatar, and the other is Brad Allen, who did Scott Pilgrim, and then he went on to do I Am Number 4. And he called me to initially to double I Am Number 4, or Number 4's guardian, who was played by, yes, but before that, he was actually going to be played by the guy from District 9. What was his name? Blanking. But what's that? Sholto, yes. So Sholto originally was cast in the role, and Brad had asked me to come in and help train Sholto, and then even be his double for the movie. And I said, yeah, sure, that's cool. I was running Just Cause, and we had different things going on, but it's easy when it's in LA, because I can do multiple things, but he said, well, we're going to do it, and then we're going to go shoot at Pittsburgh. Well, that might be a problem, but we'll see how it goes. And for now, for the LA, for training, and I'll be part of that. So I came in and I helped, was training Sholto for a couple weeks, and we were doing various tests, wire tests and gags for the main actor. And the whole team, we were kind of, every day we get together and train and do stuff. And then Sholto, I guess for creative differences, left the project. And then they recast Timothy. And then I was no longer engaged. But again, same kind of thing. I guess the director, DJ Caruso, he saw my headshots, and we were working together for the training sequences, and he's like, I want to get Rueben back. We want to put him in somewhere. So they found a spot for me again. It's very Scott Pilgrim-esque how it all happened. And they're like, okay, we're gonna open the movie with you. And I'm like, oh, cool. But you're gonna die in 2 seconds. I'm like, oh. I get to work. And actually, believe it or not, so last year, AFO, right after AFO, I flew straight to Pittsburgh and shot Iron 4.
Let's go.
Because it was this time last year. So I went from the blonde hair to back to the Lucas Lee haircut. Shaved my hair and was in Pittsburgh for just a few days to shoot that. And got going.
I was sleeping immediately after
Yeah.
it, so so when you started, you're like, hey, I want to be this stunt actor. I want to be that guy. Did you do that starting in America, or did you go to Japan? Because if you went to Japan, that's bold. I'm just going to go to Japan and say I can kick better than you. Or did you go and do it?
Actually, initially I went to Japan when I was 19, and I had no intention of doing acting at all. Acting and performing was the last thing I wanted to do. I was the shyest guy in my class. Well, maybe not that shy. Kind of shy. I sold candy. What was I shy? I have a high school buddy in here. Jeff, raise your hand. Jeff Kite. So he's a testament to who I was. I just played Street Fighter. That's all I did. That's pretty much all I did. I played Street Fighter. I read manga, and that was it. So I didn't really have any kind of aspirations of being in front of the camera and doing any kind of camera, acting or anything that was drama class. I remember just feeling embarrassed for the people up on the stage. I was just like in this kind of like, what?
That's shy right there.
That's, yeah. Man, how can I do that? How can I even stand up there and like do that? So no, I had no intentions of kicking ass in Japan, but I had a very large manga collection, and I was a huge anime fan, and
We are too.
yeah. And I love Japanese cars and tech and anything Japanese, and everything I had liked up until that time was pretty much from Japan. So I was like, okay, I gotta go to Japan. So I went to Japan.
Kick somebody in the face and there happened to be a camera.
Well, yeah, it's kind of things developed, but basically I got to Japan, ended up, this is going to my life story here, guys. Ended up working on an army base for minimum wage, US at the time, $4.25 an hour. This is that tells you how old I am. But yet I had to live off base because I wasn't in the military, and the yen was super strong, and I couldn't even make enough money to feed myself.
This must have been 95.
Around that time, yeah. And I was out of hunger, I was starving. I went and registered with some modeling agencies in Tokyo, and they said, you're white, you can be in front of the camera. I was like, oh, whatever, it's to beat me, yeah, sure, whatever. And then I got called into an audition. I remember my first audition was for some kind of Nissan print ad or something. And I went in, and all the other models had these, huge portfolios with all kinds of, catwalks and Hugo Boss and all these kind of pictures and things. And I didn't have anything, nothing, not even like a picture. And then the agent was kind of lying to the guy. He goes, "Oh, he forgot his portfolio book today. He's got tons of experience." I'm just sitting there like, yeah, totally true. And I guess that stupid smile, whatever it was, it worked, and I got called for the job. Because at first, I remember going home from that audition, and I was thinking, this is the last, never, ever, ever, because I just felt so weird. Standing in front of people and they're judging you, and they're like, taking notes, and I just, that was the worst experience of my life. I never, ever want to do that again. Got home, there was a message on the machine, you booked the job, and I'm like, oh no. I don't want to do this. It pays $300. Oh, well, maybe I can. Yeah, okay, we'll go see it. And then I went and did the job, and I was with some other models, and pretended like I had all this experience. Yeah, should do this forever, And standing in front of the camera, smiling and doing the thing, and And then I watched the other guy, and then I noticed every little click, he expected different poses. So, and then the whole thing was done in like 2 hours, and I'm like, I just made $3 in 2 hours. This is great. And then just out of naive stupidness, right away I went back to my Army-based job, quit my Army-based job.
Oh man.
And then. And I was like, yeah, I'm riding the high life. I'm gonna get all these modeling jobs, and I'm gonna be like set. I can eat. I don't have to eat natto every day. So I was on a natto and rice diet for a few months there. And then, but what happened was, I guess because that was like a lucky break. And then after that, I'd go to a lot of auditions, and then nothing would happen, and we're back on the natto and rice thing. But then things did take off, and then I was doing the modeling thing for a little bit, but then it felt unsatisfying, just doing, smiling and taking pictures. And then I bumped into, I did a modeling job with this Romanian actress, who she was telling me about how she was acting, and she was taking acting classes in Japanese. Her Japanese was fluent. She was kind of raised. Her parents were from the embassy or something, and she was raised in Japan, and I was blown away because she was white like me and spoke fluent Japanese, and that's where I was trying to get my Japanese to that level, and she was acting. I was like, oh, acting, that's interesting. And like, yeah, I'm just, in Japanese, and I'm trying to be a gaijin talento, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. That sounds a lot more interesting than just smiling. So then I went with her to acting class, and in Japanese, and it was a lot more challenging. And I just thought, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to do more time in front of the camera, as acting and performing, than just smiling. And then at the same time, it's kind of how things kind of happened. At the same time, I enrolled in action class. And in Japan, they have kind of action stunt schools, which they don't have in the U.S. They should, but...
Gee, who could be qualified to open a school?
No, I wouldn't. Actually, I did. I used to have a school in the class that I taught. But I went and started doing action and acting and kind of mixing the two. And right around the same time, I got a call to do an audition for P Fighter Kabuto. And I went in and auditioned, and I was up against these fluent, white guys that were fluent in Japanese and that had already done stuff. And I'm like, man, I'd been living in Japan about a year. My Japanese wasn't 100% fluent, but I could get by. And then they called me for the callback, and I went for the callback, and it was just me and a couple other guys that were mixed, Japanese American mixed, and the Japanese was perfect. And I'm like, oh, there's no way. I'm not going to get this. My Japanese is nowhere near that level. But then I got a call, and they said, you got the part? And I was like, sweet. And when, I remember my first day on set, I was acting in Japanese. I was throwing kicks and punches and flying through the air on a trampoline and beating up these big, costume monsters. And that was the moment. I remember that day. It was my 21st birthday, and I knew that day I was like, this is what I'm gonna do the rest of my life. that there's no going back. I cannot do anything else, and haven't looked back since. And that has been, if I haven't been beating up monsters every day, I try to do something related.
How did that get back to LA and back to Rangers? Because believe it or not, I actually did spot you when she reaches in that flying car and she throws you out. Like, well, they said, hey, we got Rueben Langdon. Like, isn't that the guy that they threw out of the car? I don't even know why. It just stuck in my head. So how did you get back to LA that way?
Well, after B Fighter, I fell in love with the action side of things so much that I just kept training with the stunt guys from the action world, and that's all I did for 4 years in Japan. Every day, I just religiously trained in martial arts and action school, trampoline, gymnastics, karate, kendo, judo, anything I could do to kind of get to that Jackie Chan level. That was my goal. And then after 4 years of training, I was kind of like, well, it'd be nice to put some of these skills to work. And nothing, after B Fighter, nothing really happened in Japan to that level as far as, I did a lot of commercials and I had a pretty good income just from doing commercials and modeling, but nothing was as satisfying as what I had done in B Fighter as far as an actor and a performer. So I just up and went to Hong Kong. That was kind of my first venture. And then in Hong Kong, it was right after 97, right after the handover, where Hong Kong went back to China, and Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Sammo Hung, they had all moved back. They had all moved to the States to kind of do stuff because everybody was trying to get out of Hong Kong because they thought it was going to be a communist takeover and everything was going to fall apart. It didn't, but that was kind of all. When they left, the industry left. So.